Today is the second day of national mourning. The body of Dame Minita Gordon was viewed by invited guests only, as it lay in state at Government House here in Belize City. Among them were officials from both tiers of government, as well as a handful of persons who knew her individually. Minister of Human Development Dolores Balderamos-Garcia attended a brief ceremony in honor of the late Governor General and shared a few words about Dr. Gordon's impact as an exemplar in Belizean society.
Back in 1981, then Premier George Price, and of course I declare my bias here, then Premier George Price, I thought it was a brilliant and forward-looking move for him to have appointed Dame Minita as our first Governor General. It showed a great respect for women, an ability to think outside of the box in terms of looking for leadership. And I thought that when Dame Minita came in, it was a lovely day for all Belizeans because she carried out her role with compassion, with humility, with dignity. And I think that she's going to always remain as a wonderful role model, not only for women, but for all of us.
Throughout her life, Dr. Gordon was instrumental in the Girl Guides movement. This morning, a company of girls belonging to the organization paid tribute to her by saluting as they viewed her flag-draped casket.
From our archive, we can recall that she became a member of our association in 1940s, and she played a pivotal role as the patron of our association. She became a full member and was also actively involved in the uniform part of the organization. She was a member of St. Mary's, and her group members actively, they told us that she assisted them with their fundraising and every aspect that they needed to build their company to make it what it is today, the Girl Guides Association of Belize.
Many of those girls may not have known who the first Governor General was and have only read about her or were taught in a social studies course about Dr. Gordon. For Albert Era Representative Tracy Panton, she was entering her teenage years when the appointment was made.
I was maybe about 12 or 13 when she was appointed as our first Governor General. And I remember being in awe of the fact that there was a woman who was appointed to that position. You know, there was always a quiet humility and dignity about her. She was vivacious in her own way. She used to always wear a lot of color in her attire, but always very humble in service to the country and people of Belize. And so I am especially honored to be able to pay my last respects to her today.
Her legacy is extensive, so much so that the youngest of the Girl Guides Association are familiar with her contributions to the development of the organization in Belize.
Normally what we do is during meetings we would speak on history, and that gives the girls a little insight of what happened before their times. And so you can sit and ask any girl, Brownie, you can ask any Brownie, or maybe even the Orchids, and they can tell you a little bit of history, even if it's the slightest little thing that maybe she was in a part of the first St. Mary's Park. They would know something about her or something about her past chief commissioner or something.
Dame Minita Gordon's appointment as first Governor General of Belize, along with all the accolades bestowed upon her from the many accomplishments in her personal and professional life, has equally paved the way for women in leadership.
As you can see today, we have quite a few women in leadership. The Speaker of the House is here, the President of the Senate and other women leaders. And I am very humble and honored to pay respects for her today and to really honor her memory. I'd like to mention that one of my fondest memories of her is when she used to walk down with a nice big handbag over her elbow, you know, her right arm. And she wore bright colors and a big broad brim hat. And she would go about her business quietly, but with the kind of dignity that I believe in Belize we need to emulate today.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.